From the beautiful Frontwave Arena in Oceanside, California, the Major Arena Soccer League regular season comes to a dramatic close as the Kansas City Comets and San Diego Sockers do battle one more time. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Alongside Tony Sanchez, Craig Elston on hand with you. It's the old sports cliche, but here we go. It all comes down to this. There's 2 matches left in the MASL regular season. This one you're watching between San Diego and Kansas City. St. Louis and Empire will play an hour from now at Toyota Arena. Those 2 results are all that is left, and yet everything to play for, nothing decided between these teams yet.
Yeah, and the Sockers know that with a regulation win tonight, that means that they win the MASL Shield. Anything other than that, and it becomes a little bit complicated. 1 of 3 teams are still in the running for the Shield, and if the Sockers could end up anywhere from 1st to 5th place, depending on the standings. But one thing is for sure, the Sockers need to play their best game in order to make sure that they get themselves and earn a bye and not have to come back next weekend for the first round of playoffs.
Let's take a look at the folks that are going to try and make that happen on both sides. This is the day to honor Craig Childs. Craig can't go with a knee injury. He'll be honored in a pre-match ceremony. The guy who's taken his place in the lineup at target forward, Tavoy Morgan, is on a tear.
Tavoy has scored 10 goals in the last 5 games. He's on a 5-game goal streak, and last Friday he was able to net 4 goals and 2 assists in the overtime victory against Kansas City.
Meanwhile, when you look over to the Kansas City side, Rion Marquez has everything on the table: Golden Boot, Pass Master, MVP.
Yeah, and he leads Kansas City with 28 goals, 21 assists, 49 points overall. He's definitely an MVP candidate, and last time he was here, he was a dangerous man.
Kansas City can finish anywhere as high as 3rd. San Diego could win the Shield with a regulation win today. Everything to play for, and it all comes down to this. After this timeout, Nick Ferrara with a little bit more on today's honoree, Craig Childs, and then we'll bring you the starting lineups and the opening kickoff from Oceanside, the Sockers and the Comets on MASL TV.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, help with this. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
Fans, take a look at the video board for a special gift to one of the greats.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's addict them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. We got you.
Sockers head coach Bill Salvaggio will be presenting the legend with a special memento of appreciation from the San Diego Sockers family. And while it's an honor to introduce him, there's no introduction necessary. So at this time, I'm going to hand over the mic to someone you already know.
You know, what can I say? I feel like I've grown up in this uniform and in this organization. You know, I came fresh out of college, and I came a young kid ready to score some goals, and I feel like I'm leaving, you know, a man, an adult, a father, and hopefully a mentor to a lot of the players down the road. You know, unfortunately, I won't be able to take the field with my boys tonight. You know, things work out the way that they work out, and I plan on making the best of it in helping the organization and the players and the coaching staff any way possible. I've had so many fantastic memories in front of, you know, some of the best fans here in the country. You know, my friends and family have supported me and come to games, you know, from the very beginning. And so, you know, I'm forever indebted to this organization, and this is just the beginning. You know, I will continue on in any capacity they need me. And boys, you know, we got a fantastic show on our hands. KC's a fantastic group, and we know what's on the line tonight, and so everything we got for the fans in the city of San Diego.
The captain, Craig Childs, joined by his family to pose around the shadow box retirement jersey. That's the man. Unable to play tonight due to a knee injury, likely done for the season. He's just called his entire team to come into the pick as well. An emotional afternoon here, Tony, with so many soccer's legends from the PASL and early MASL era here, including the original captain of the rebooted Modern Soccer's franchise, Aaron Susi, who in the PASL, first 1 year with the California Cougars and then 4 years with the Sockers, won 5 straight PASL championships. Before that, league disappeared and merged into the MASL. The MVP trophy was named the Aaron Susi MVP trophy. So it's great to see number 4 back in the house. He'll be coming by at the start of the second quarter for a little reminiscence as we talk about the man, no myth, definite legend, Craig Childs. But meanwhile, Tony, there's a gigantic game in the MASL to be played, and it's kind of a hockey thing, maybe more than indoor soccer, but a lot of times a team that has to stand on the line and watch the other team's ceremony loves to come out and really stick it to them early in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kansas City would love nothing more than to once again come here in Frontwave Arena and spoil the party, as Craig Childs and his family, his team was here celebrating his retirement. Even in captain's fashion, though, he still gave the flowers to Kansas City, looked at his team and said, you know what the task is at hand tonight, boys. Let's do it not just for me, but let's do it for the fans and the city of San Diego.
Let's set the stage and set the stakes when we look at these two clubs. San Diego, thanks to wins by Milwaukee and Baltimore, as predicted over the last 24 hours, is in 3rd place now on the table with 42 points. St. Louis in 5th with 39. However, if St. Louis wins and takes all 3 points here, they're even on points, 42, and St. Louis would have 11 regulation wins to San Diego's 10. So St. Louis could switch. Take a look at the guys who are going to try and put it in the net for both teams. Your leading scorers are the big forwards, Rion Marquez, Nick Pereira. Nick, at age 39, having a great season in his first, working on the target with Tavoy Morgan and Craig Childs. But for Rion Marquez, a career best season that has a chance to finish with a lot of silverware here shortly.
Yeah, Rion's been able to really be impactful, not just on the scoring side of things, but as you can see right there, 21 assists, being a facilitator on the floor for the attack of a Kansas City team that is coming in and also has a chance to make an impact here on their last appearance of the regular season.
We'll keep an eye on this one. We'll keep an eye in an hour on what's going on up the I-15 in Ontario for the Empire Strikers and the St. Louis Ambush. They are the only team, the Ambush, that can get over 43 points other than San Diego. Soccer's on 42. 3 points gets 45 in the Shield. 2 points puts that match in Ontario to center stage. And as Los Brujos del 78 begin the SD chant inside Frontwave Arena, we kick off with Nicolau Neto in net for Kansas City in white. Leo steals the ball at midfield, got the pass to do it. Leo run over from behind by Dominic Francis, and then Vandegrift on support to take what could have been an early turnover and shot away. Kansas City with the white tops, blue shorts, white socks, running right to left across your screens on Fox Soccer Plus and on MASL TV. We welcome you to it. So does the Major Arena Soccer League. The Sockers are all in blue with gold numbers, and they are running left to right. There's Rion Marquez with his first touch. The target forward working on Cardenas. Got free, shot off the wall, kicked out by Toth. Second chance, score. Just like that, 57 seconds in, it's 1-0 Kansas City.
And Rion Marquez doing what he needs to do here. You see the ball have a rebound, kick save, kick clearance by Toth, but it goes right back to Rion Marquez, and he gets himself on the board, 1-0, very early in the first quarter. You see Toth just thinking to himself, maybe I should have cleared it a little harder.
Marquez, who wants to, like I said, he could actually win pass master as well as golden boot. He's trying to get an assist on his own goal there, passing it off the keeper to himself, but it's going to go unassisted for Marquez, and it's going to be just like that, his 29th of the season, and 1-0 Kansas City. Comets taking the lead in both legs of this home and home weekend series to wrap up the MASL regular season. Fridays was one for the fans, certainly not for the coaches, and especially the ones that are worried about the defense, as it was 11-10 San Diego in golden goal overtime, a 21-goal match. What does today have in store when the first goal is 57 seconds in? Here's the man who's been scoring for San Diego, number 9, Tavoy Morgan. 4 goals, 2 assists last match. In his first touch since February 15th, Charlie Gonzalez back out there for San Diego. MVP candidate at the point he crumpled in the far corner here at Frontwave Arena with an ankle injury that's kept him out until today, March 29th.
And something to look at for that, as much as he has the talent, as we know Charlie does, it's breaking into this team that has chemistry built around it and has been working without Charlie for the majority of the last couple of weeks and months. But can they work Chadley into game form and start quickly by trying to tie this up in the first quarter?
Huge turnout from Los Brujos, who know what's on the line. There's a possible steal. Milton De Andrade gets it back, gets to the right foot. His toe poke shot was saved by Neto, who had a 23 save performance against San Diego in the shootout victory. Milton with a steal. Pereira on the wing. Nick Pereira back to Milton off the wall, hoping for the return love. Carry him out to Ruggles, who tried to use some crazy indoor geometry there to get it to Pereira on the back post. Ambitious idea. Pressure on now for San Diego. Cesar Cerda could be working himself just in the last 3 games into the Defender of the Year conversation for the way he has taken over as the captain of this team since the injury to Craig Giles. Had 4 assists and numerous interventions. Morgan trying to take it off the wall one time. It's in Neto's capable hands. Nicolau Neto only starting his 2nd game of the year. And they first won against San Diego. He had a .814 save percentage. Mikey Lennis' shot blocked by Leonardo de Oliveira. 2nd game back from missing 8 with a quad injury. Still not 100%. Luis Morales and the Sockers under pressure. Jesus Pacheco, who's moved back into defense today, clears it into the bench from the defensive zone. That is against San Diego. Defensive clearance. It's a top-of-the-arc restart for Kansas City.
And so far right now, Kansas City has put a lot of pressure on San Diego, not letting them have the space to create any of their plays. You saw Nilton de Andrade have a singular independent play, but outside of that, they've been doing very well. And now Kansas City has a chance at the dangerous set piece at the top of the arc.
It'll be the Brit, Dominic Francis, blocked out of play for a wall restart for Kansas City. Francis fitting in perfectly here with 19 goals, and he's been effective against San Diego. There's a foul called against Nacho. This is the 5th meeting between the Sockers and Kansas City since February 14th, but the 4th here in the month of March. And so far, it's only been visitors' pleasure. The Sockers stunned the Cable Dahmer Arena 3 separate times with golden goal or shootout overtime wins, including twice where they came back late to force the overtime. The other one, they conceded late with 2 seconds left to go to overtime. That one went to shootout. That was the last time that we saw Neto out on the floor. That was against Boris Pardo. Here comes Chris Toth, who returned at the end of February, and since then has played like the goalkeeper of the year. Charlie, first real chance to influence the offense here for the master with the ball under his foot. Sebastian Mendez is always going to favor his left. That's why you'll always, almost always see him on the right. This one threaded through. Serta brought it down in between a crowd, and then Pereira gets bumped off by Stankovic. Mijatovic wins it back. Nick Pereira working in the corner. Vandegrift got a touch on it. Mijatovic crashes to reestablish possession. He gets it. He shoots. Saved by Neto. Stefan Mijatovic had the golden goal game winner on Friday night. His first goal with the Sockers since coming in right before the roster freeze. Mijatovic, who has a powerful shot. It's been on display in 8 years in this league. He's finished his shift. He's off. Tavoy Morgan is on, along with Nick Pereira and Drew Ruggles switching. Here's Morgan in the front. Vandegrift beats him to the ball. Well done by the veteran defender. Pacheco then wins it away from Stankovic. Great action all the way. Morgan turning, working, shooting, chest save, rebound still loose, and it's brought down by Nacho as Los Brujos keep the energy rolling here at Frontwave Arena. Love to hear it.
And as you mentioned, because these two teams have seen each other in such proximity, they essentially have the game film that you will ever need in this season, and they know each other very well. And looking over at Mijatovic too, he has actually added chip on his shoulder by being part of the Kansas City Comets as well. So these two teams very much intimately know the ins and outs defensively, offensively. Part of the reason why last Friday you just had a barn burner of a match, and everybody knows the answers to the tests.
They're kicking around the ball created by Miter, official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Learn more about them at miter.com, M-I-T-R-E. English company, British company, 1817 got it started. Crazy. Pino. Marquez comes in. Rebound was loose on the back post off the top wall pass. Brought down by San Diego. Out of play. Back to the Comets. Good start here for Kansas City. And maybe that first goal was just the ceremony curse. You've paid the penalty and maybe move on. You had to start the game -1. That's the ceremony penalty.
Yeah, it looks like things have certainly settled, but for Kansas City, they have the advantage in a way where you have nothing necessarily expected of you. Today at home, you have one of the biggest home crowds here already crashing into the bottom there. Now a counterattack for Sockers.
And it's a good one. Nilton's in. Nilton with Serta. Spins it, shoots it wide, and Serta on the back post. Shakes his head. He was, of course, hoping for a pass. This one loose along the bench wall. Reggett, before he came off, lost it. Nilton's going to try again, baby. He got past the keeper. Pino lost it, and then Serta puts it in the middle, and Neto spills it out but makes the save. Wild action in the Kansas City zone. Morales trying for the steal. Now it's Marquez, and he's got room. Bounces it to the middle, and there's Serta, the captain, to clean it up. 1-0 Kansas City. Next ball out of play will be the media timeout for the first quarter.
We've seen the last couple of games, too, for De Andrade. A chance to lay it off and have a potential good look as an assist, but now for Kansas City on the offense.
That's the same for Toth. You saw it from Souza all the way. Leo and Mijatovic. Mijatovic under pressure. Fed it to Toth with nothing to do. That one goes out of play off of Christian Andreas, and that brings us to our first timeout. Let's take it with you. Entertaining start to a game with all kinds of implications for 6 different teams around the league. We're back to it. 1-0 Kansas City on MASL TV.
To the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea. Day.
Craig Giles, simply the best, folks. Why is he being honored? How about 512 goals, 758 points in his soccer's career through the PASL and MASL, 3-time league MVP in the PASL, 3-time finals MVP, including once here in the MASL. Mendez's shot blocked by Andreas. It's out to Ruggles. Of course he wanted to be on the floor tonight. But as he said, and you'll hear from him in our halftime interview, you know, sometimes things happen for a reason, and not a distraction in any way. He's helping guide this team now from the bench. Mendez crashes in and draws a foul against the double team. Shane Butler is out there with Elvis Osmanovic, our 2 officials on the floor. It's a raucous and packed Frontwave Arena. Big crowd here today. Charlie in and out. Boy, that looked like it was going to be a goal for, I think it got about 70% over at one point in the path of that ball. Leo's looking to put it 100% over. Back post, Luis Morales couldn't hit it. He hit the big ball first, as we say when you chunk one in the off the tee.
Well, clearly the intent is there from Chatterley and the Sockers in general, who have had a couple of opportunities in front of goal. That one just unfortunate to be a couple of degrees on the wrong side of the post for it to go in, but you're seeing a lot of the offensive power and different looks right there, and unfortunately Morales kind of whiffed on one that could have been important as well.
Here's Ben Raymond recovering what Cardenas retrieved. Tetsane goes down. The foul's on Raymond. It'll be Kansas City ball. Wearing the captain's armband, Zach Reggett. We got mixed up on times. I was going to interview Zach today, and he thought it was later than I did. But we wound up getting Craig on. That's probably the right thing anyways. It's probably the right thing anyways. As the evening goes on and the results start to crystallize, we'll show you what the table could be in the various circumstances, depending on these two results and how they go either one of four ways, right? Sockers could win with an Empire win or loss. Sockers could lose with an Empire win or loss. So we'll show you what it can be, but it's drastically different depending on this result. Right now, Kansas City on a live table would be moving up to third place in the league, and the Sockers would be in fourth with a chance to fall to fifth, depending on St. Louis's result.
But if we take last Friday's match as an example, both of these teams are going to squeeze all the juice out of the lemon, and in this case, the game. So 4 quarters of full action. So don't worry about it, folks. You're going to get your price of admission, even if it's real on the MASL TV.
There were 4 goals in the opening quarter on Friday. Rion Marquez has the first and only of this one so far. Came on a little bit of an error. An unfortunate kick out right back to his toes. Now Marquez spun out to Vandegrift off the wall. Charlie's going to track down the rebound. And between two finds Reyes, who spins and gets it to Tavoy. Tavoy Morgan on the run with Lennis. He shoots wide. Good track back by Mikey Lennis, which forced Tavoy into only one chance. Back the other way they come with Souza. His shot blocked in between Nilton and Serta there. Nilton uses the back wall as a passing element, but it's all the way out to Mikey Lennis of Kansas City. 4 minutes left, running clock, first quarter, first of 4 15-minute quarters. And this, the second to last game of the MASL regular season. The last one kicks off in about a half hour with Christian Philly Filament on the call on MASL TV for the Strikers and the St. Louis Ambush. Ambush still very much in both the Shield and the bye conversation. Right now, again, live table, they're playing for it at 4 o'clock. But the Sockers know they've got a lot of time to change that. 48 minutes and 36 seconds at least. Ruggles tried to get it to the back post, and Pereira. Mendez gets the ball before Kansas City can break. So critical, Tony, on set pieces for San Diego. Not only do they succeed, but do they give up a counterattack if they fail? Here's some nifty backheel passing, but it was read well by Nacho Flores, the veteran. Pereira trying to get it back and win it back and hold it. His old nemesis, Pino. Now, Ruggles to Mendez. Mendez spins and holds. Finds Pereira at the top. Nick, the U.S. Beach Soccer national team captain. Over 100 caps for the United States. His goalkeeper on the beach is Chris Toth. Here comes Toth under trouble. It's Stankovic to the middle to Flores, who has a shooting lane. He misses wide, and it was headed back smoothly by Cardenas to Toth, and now a chance to counterattack the other way. Nick Pereira against Guerrero Pino. The two veterans battle at the mid-wall. A line change is on. And on a nice drop back, Pereira's going to get Morgan back out on the floor. 2:30 to go in the first. Here's Morales, dangerous shooter, off the wall, just missing Pacheco, who was zigzagging into the crease.
You can feel Kansas City filling in those defensive spaces very well, moving with physicality and intent, reading the game very well, and that's been the success of this Comets team here in the first quarter.
Serta. Nice! Spin move into the corner, finding Morgan, kicked out instead by DeBray Holloman. Aztec for life, foul on Serta from behind. Capelli Sport is the official exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. Under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Morales pressuring Holloman, crashing in. Guess who gets the ball? Leo to Morales. He knows he can put that in the top corner. He saw the angle, and he shot it high.
And again, San Diego's having those looks, having those opportunities in spaces, but they haven't been able to be clinical in the last touch. But for San Diego, there's really a sense of urgency to get a tying goal before this quarter ends.
Minute 47. And we've seen late goals and slow starts. This hasn't really been a slow start. I'd say this is two teams playing well and an early kind of weird goal. Ruggles off the wall and behind Neto, who tracked it down like a loose puppy around his feet. But don't do that with a puppy. You just threw it all the way out. It's Lennis. Stolen. Foul. Not stolen. Free kick coming up.
And it's the details that we've been talking about as far as the soccer goes all season, and sometimes it's making sure that you're not giving those opportunities to the opponent, whether it be a counterattacking opportunity or a foul or a semblance of a foul in a dangerous position, because Kansas City is physical, but they're also incredibly tactical and technical.
Dom Francis steps over. Reggett fires to the back post. Marquez knows he could put it in the top corner, saw the angle, and fired it high.
Yeah, it's a matter of both teams warming into this matchup, and you'll see a lot more clear opportunities as this matchup goes. But for right now, these two teams are still filling themselves out. Regardless of the 1-0 scoreline, they're trying to see what this final form of each team on the last game of the regular season is going to be.
Morgan's going to draw a crowd every time he touches the ball, and that's a guarantee, but then he stole it from Sousa, played it off the wall to himself, and scored! And instead of that crowd being around Morgan, Morgan is a part of the crowd. He is raising that crowd up with a 1-1 tie.
And this goal was all Morgan. Give me that ball. Wallace Cora, auto pase, and the finish. Putting his hands behind his back. Yep, I did that. Tying it up 1-1.
That goal at 13:39. Tavoy Morgan is on a 6-match goals streak. That's his 16th of the season, and he just might finish as the team's goals leader when he came into March 8th with 5 goals.
It's been an incredible turn of the season for Tavoy Morgan, and you can tell he's definitely at the top of his form, and he wants it. He's been making those defensive runs and those chances all by himself.
Steal! Neto's going to get there in time, and then Tetsane gets the important midfield reception of the pass. Now Cardenas brings one down. Tried to one-time it forward. Ben Raymond gets rubbed off on the play, and it's back the other way. Raymond gets into Tetsane from behind. Well done. That's some clinical physical defense by the veteran out of Baldwinsville, New York. Ex of the Syracuse and Utica franchises. Milwaukee as well for Ben Raymond. And here with the Sockers in his 3rd season. Works at Flight Sports alongside Brian Farber. It's asking him if they had like a nearby thing of clothes for Super Soccer's show, but then I went a different direction. Here's Pino chipping it back post, and Serta is there to head it away. Soccer's trying to run. Charlie had the ball get out in front of him, but then crashing all the way is Mendez. Charlie was back to complain about the cadence. Now he's got the ball on his toe. With 30 seconds and less in the first quarter. San Diego trying to turn that quarter right around. They've played well 4 minutes here. It's Mendez. Mendez looking for that wall burst. Serta says, give it to me, I'll pass it. I'm really good at that. Mendez instead will probe, trying to get that left foot open. It's back to Charlie, another great passer. That's off of the hand of Lennis. And now 7.2 seconds. This is a real opportunity for a set piece from the yellow line. Left wing extended.
And if you keep a look at Cardenas, whenever he's anywhere in frame, he's usually directing traffic, whether on defense, on offense, and we'll see where this set piece brings.
It's to Mijatovic, and the ball is up into the crowd. 5.6 seconds left for a Neto throwout to end a super entertaining first quarter. Nacho handles at midfield, and as it's kicked back by Mijatovic, after the horn, the first quarter has come to an end. Rion Marquez got it started. Tavoy Morgan capped the quarter with a one-man show. And after 15 minutes, it's 1-1, the Sockers and the Comets. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on Fox Soccer Plus and MASL TV.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you.
Air conditioning,
You're not just a
heating and
number.
solar,
You're
hot
a member.
target
And
challenge.
we're putting
It's time to cool off.
$350
Nail that
behind
target.
what we
Our
believe
friends at
in.
Action Air Conditioning,
Get
Heating and
started
Solar have a
today.
brand new
Dream
unit
big.
for your house,
We've
Ian,
got
and
you.
you sit right there. So it's kind of a home field advantage. You know
Normal
what?
to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stuff. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente, healthcare that just works.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's dish them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the Safari Park.
Welcome back, second quarter run.
Okay.
Second quarter run about to begin here at Frontwave Arena. San Diego Sockers, Kansas City Comets tied at 1. Craig Elston joined in the booth by one of the true legends of the modern Sockers. He won 5 consecutive PASL championships between California and San Diego to the point that they really renamed the MVP award after him. The Aaron Susi Award. He is Aaron Susi, number 4, still my captain. And he joins us here to start the second quarter. Susi, it's so great to see you, man.
Thank you very much, Greg. Great to be here. It's actually my first time in the arena, so it's a long time coming. Phil talked about this for many years, so I'm happy to see it.
It is great to have you here, and of course to help celebrate your longtime friend, Craig Childs. Here's a guy who's getting the job done at target forward. Tavoy Morgan just scored that equalizer. He'll fire, and he'll get the go-ahead goal! Golazo! Tavoy's on a tear, and it's 2-1, San Diego Zeus!
Great finish. Wow, from outside the yellow line, really nice.
Second of the match, 17th of the season, and 12th in his last 6 games. Tavoy Morgan is absolutely on a roll. Zeus, when you came here to be the original captain for the Sockers in 2009, they were playing in the Del Mar Arena. It would get really cold, sometimes rain in the third quarter would come in. To see it go from there to the sports arena, 4 straight championships, 2 more now in the MASL, and here at Frontwave Arena, an arena of their own. It's got to be something to see that journey.
Yeah, it was. You know, I had played 12 years in the league up until the PASL was formed, and I was probably like a lot of people. I kind of turned my nose up at it, but I think it was something that needed to be done for us to finally merge the 2 leagues to get where we are today. So it's something that worked out to the best for everybody.
And it created, just like this, one of these classic all-time indoor matchups of Kansas City, San Diego, which goes all the way back to the good old days of the 1980s. Here's another opportunity on counterattack for San Diego, which is playing at a revved up pace here. Ever since that early concession, seems like the team's really had a strong look on the ball here tonight.
They do. They got so many good players on each side. I think it's going to be a tactical match. It looks like everybody's fired up for this one. Definitely going to go down to the last whistle.
By the way, folks, Aaron and I have done play-by-play in color before on the radio and in other spots in past years. So it's just nice to have a guy naturally fitting in. It's great. I want to talk to you, but also, as you can see, the action is fast and furious with Nick Pereira, one of your teammates when he was a rookie in 2010-11 in the corner.
Always such a big fan of Christos and Nick Pereira up top. So happy to see them back here in their hometown, San Diego Sockers.
The two-time MASL MVP spits it loose to the captain, Serta. Cesar, who has been a man on a mission here to get the MASL Shield for the Sockers. 4 assists last game in the 11-10 comeback victory. So calm with the ball at his foot to Drew Ruggles to Leo, a player who you would have loved to have played with.
Very technical, very good on the ball, can score with both feet. Having him up there with Nick, playing off of him, can't go wrong with that.
Turnover, and Tetsane looking to break, and then Drew Ruggles maybe got the dread pulled, but it was definitely inadvertent. You saw the entire Sockers bench call for a blue card there, which it is if you pull in his dreadlocks. Most times that play goes uncalled. So, Aaron, of course, a lot of fans here to see Craig Childs, his retirement. You were down on the floor for that. How good just to see so many of your teammates from the day.
Oh, it's awesome. You know, it's a fraternity. It's always good to see the guys talk shop and talk about some of the great memories. You know, the best things that happen when you're playing are the things that people don't see, the training and the travel and all that stuff. So it's great. It's great to talk stories with these guys.
Big steal. Junior Kazim comes in, and then Pacheco cleans up his error and makes the sprawling block. Toth was there too, but Pacheco said, my mistake, my correction. Morales the other way, getting around the official. Into the corner, gets it back, tried for the toe poke. Couldn't really get his swing through that ball in tight quarters. And back and forth they go. Where they'll stop, nobody knows in this wild affair of indoor soccer. Even just speaking from a career retrospective, because as you mentioned, before coming to the PASL, you were in the MISL. Here's Pereira, loose for just a moment, then the double team greets him, and there was no beach soccer play able to get him out, but then Serta is at the outlet front and center. He loses it. Counterattack could be on. Serta tried to get the steal. It's back the other way, 2v2. And the shot is gloved for the moment and scored on the rebound by Stankovic. He finishes up the long shot outside from Francis for 2-2.
Yeah, you can tell these guys are tired. They just obviously played each other a couple nights ago. I'd like to see us possess it a little bit more, get these guys, keep these guys running, spread the field out a little bit.
Now, I remember when you were the captain of the club and Craig Childs was this young buck. You were both San Diego State kids, right? So you had that going for you, and you would install, for example, when he was building to MVP form, how many goals can you score with your left? And you as a lefty, how many goals can you score with your right?
Yeah, we had to bet every year who could score more goals and who could have more assists. Obviously, you know, as an older guy, I wasn't going to be able to compete with him in the goals, but kept us playing hard each time. And I think he beat me every time in goals. I beat him every time in assists. But I would like to say, when Craig came in, one thing I always admired about him is just how professional he was. And he came in, and you're an MVP scoring 40, 50 goals a game, and never got a big head. Came back in the next year, still carrying bags and just still doing things the right way. And he's a great ambassador for the sport and for the team here in San Diego.
Nick Pereira holding at midfield, and Chad Vandegrift gave him a nice little bump on the way across.
Yeah, I'd like to see them reset this here. No reason to go forward.
Nilton knows one direction. He's like a shark. He's always moving forward. And now the ball's moving backwards. It's coming to Andreas, who's great on the run, and he's got Stankovic in the middle trying to feed him. Cardenas there to play sweeper. A man who could be a defender on his own, Chris Toth, so good with the ball at his feet. Pacheco just trying to use the wall as an ally. Tetsane gets loose. He will spin one that will squirt into the corner. It comes back out to Souza, and the Comets have a chance. And Nicolau Neto very smartly in goal says, Calmate, slow it down.
Yep.
Keep them on the floor. That's the key. This was a tired Sockers group right now. Souza. Well, that's one way to stop.
Yeah, no reason to do that.
And then Sebastian said, get up. And Elvis, the official, says, be quiet. Mendez just served his penalty point suspension 2 games ago. And now a free kick coming up and a dangerous one, as Nacho will become a part of the play. Sosa's shot blocked by Mendez. Sebastian leans the shoulder into it. He really wants to win this one away. Nilton will get the job done for a second, and then he won't. And then Pacheco will come up, and now it's 2v1 for a moment. It's Pacheco, it's Nilton, Nilton de Andrade! Scores!
Well done.
Soul roll and a beauty for 3-2, Seuss.
So good. Tenacious defense. I mean, he lost the ball. Very nice finish there, too.
That's all about that persistence, and isn't it the truth in this sport, Aaron, where it's not, oh, my mistake, now I'm going to jog back for 2 minutes. It's like you
never stop, right?
Yeah. Possession could change 3 times in 5 seconds, and that's literally what we just saw. 3-2, and how about this energy? You got the supporters' energy going, huge crowd. Man, it gives me goosebumps to hear it.
Yeah, I wish I would have had a chance to play here. I'm really happy for these guys and happy for Phil.
Here's Tavoy Morgan trying to track this one down. Morgan already with, and it will be top of the arc. Oh, Guerrero Pino with a little tiptoe error there for Kansas City, and the Sockers now can bring their attack unit out with 9:34 left in a very entertaining second quarter. Tavoy Morgan just putting on a show tonight with his 2 goals, each one of them a different version of indoor beauty.
A little down low to Ruggles maybe here.
He's been very potent on the ends of these free kicks of late. They're going to go the other way. Anticipated by Chad Vandegrift, the league leader in blocked shots. The man who's vying for his title is about to lead his team out onto the field in 15 minutes in Ontario, where Empire Strikers, as this one's going to pop and stay in play on the top of the wall, and Ruggles feeds it forward, and this could be a chance. It's Morales. It's Pereira. The pass was not on form. Pereira spins to recover. Second bite of the apple here for San Diego. Morales will carry it back to Ruggles and across to Pereira. And San Diego really playing well. Charlie will shoot into DeBray Holloman. Speaking of an Aztec for life. San Diego State's own. Now to Leo, to Charlie. Charlie, great to see him back. He just missed, Aaron, the last 10 games because of an ankle injury. And he's definitely a hinge for the offense.
Absolutely.
As is this man. And the 2 of them together, artistry in motion. Here they are. Leo in the middle. Leo zigzagging down. What will we have? We're going to have a spot foul and a great chance for San Diego. See.
Yeah, this is where you miss. That's where you miss Craig Childs.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Now, Craig probably drew up this play. That's the good news. Based on his new responsibilities. He'll talk more about that in our halftime interview that we recorded prior to the match. But Craig's got his 2 hands looking forward, pointing. I know this is his design. Let's see what happens. It's going to be Luis Morales right into the wall. Wall hold firm. Leo second chance, blocked again. Holloman 2 blocked shots there. And he had a 3rd earlier in the sequence. Now Mikey Lennis does well to keep 2 men around him and not lose the ball. And it's Kansas City's opportunity to possess. And here comes the MVP candidate himself, Rion Marquez, who opened the scoring. Marquez wants more! And he shoots it high and out of play. 6 seconds before the media timeout, but we will continue here with Aaron Susi. What are you up to these days, Seuss?
So for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been with a sports marketing firm here in San Diego. We do celebrity charity events, golf and bowling and LaDainian Tomlinson 5K, stuff like that. So yeah, it's still in the sponsorship world.
Love it. Neto, great crash from the Brazilian keeper. And now an opportunity to break the other way. Stankovic has created it. He just got the last goal. He's coming in, and Toth makes the near post save for San Diego. And the counter's on the other way, but jumping off the bench was Pino. But now with Morgan down, coming forward, it's Serta with Milton. Serta shoots, and it's blocked by Stankovic all the way back. The team leaders in the league for shot blocking, the Kansas City Comets. They are a shot blocking team. They also have given up the most goals of any of the playoff teams. Very interesting mix. Here's De Andrade. Francis will come the other way. Man, there's nothing like a charity golf tournament, Seuss. think the last time I saw you was at one. Was it Ernie Hans?
So, yep, there's a lot of them here in San Diego. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Caddy hack, that's a great one.
Caddy
Ball out of play, and we're going to go to timeout. The one and only Aaron Susi. Great to have you on, my friend. Great to reconnect.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. We'll come back with more. Tony will be back with us. It's 3-2 Sockers leading the Comets on this special Sunday night of MASL Soccer on Fox Soccer Plus and MASL TV.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members build equity and refinance with confidence. Invest in your future with a commercial real estate loan. From residential investment properties to industrial real estate, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd.
Safari Park.
Tavoy Morgan leading the San Diego Sockers offense since his return from suspension. That 5-game goal streak, let's update it. It's 6. 10 goals in the last 5. Let's go 12 goals in the last 6 with 3 quarters left in this one. 5 assists as well, and he had a 6-point game against Kansas City. When Morgan is not just motivated, he's always motivated. It's unfair to use that. When he is in balance, when he is a propulsive force that is on his feet, man, he is as dangerous and exciting as any player this league has seen in this decade.
Yeah, no, he's a special player, and when he plays with that smile that Tavoy is known for, there's also a tenacity that comes along with it, and it's almost impossible to be able to placate him. Any defense is going to be shaking in their boots whenever they see that form coming their way.
But both of these teams playing well. San Diego definitely showing that motivation with so many legends around to honor Craig Childs, with Childs being honored himself, having his name on this game. San Diego does not want to lose this game. Here comes Neto. Kansas City doesn't want to lose this game.
They don't.
They want to win. And again, the visitor has won each of the first 4 meetings between these two. This is squirting toward Marquez. He's going to nudge it out of play. Shane Butler says last touch by San Diego. Mendez naturally disagrees. Here's Marquez. Gonna bring that around to Texane, and now Chad Vandergriff. He'll take a run into the zone. Trying to free up a shooting lane for Lennis outside. Mijatovic crashes to find the ball, but is still loose in the corner, and it's going to spin out to Chris Tone.
Yeah, the physicality there that Mendez shows to have such big bodies around him and still be able to win the ball and muscle it and shield it for Toth to pick up. Earlier here in the quarter, he got a little physical in the midfield, but that's the type of player that you need, that has that spark, that has that ability to move forward. And now Mijatovic with the ball.
Sending in Morgan. Uses the hop to try and spin out. Asks for a handball. Childs just said Calmate. Told him not to challenge.
Ooh.
Luis says challenge. Phil says, I don't care, I'll challenge.
Yeah.
There's nobody who is more about just let's get this call right than thinking about like, well, what about later? Than Phil Salvaggio.
Yeah, no, the play hadn't even finished, and you saw Phil reach down to get the red pañuelo, the red challenge flag. And I mean, Tavoy was right there in the middle of it, and for him to just kind of stand around and look for the call, I think that was enough to let Phil know, yeah.
Challenger for a potential blue card for handling.
Okay. Now, here's the thing as we go to MASL video review, and we'll take a listen to what Shane Butler has to say downstairs, and then we'll discuss it. But it doesn't have to be a blue card in order for it to be a successful challenge. It just has to be a foul. Let's find out.
Right.
And we're going to have to back that up. Okay, this should give us a decent look down low.
This ball from Mijatovic. Leo's in the way a little bit in that shot.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
that's interesting.
It does hit a part of...
Now, we know at SDFC this would not be a handball, but what about here?
It's about the intent. Is it a natural position?
No, it did hit his hand. It
does.
did hit his hand. Now, is it in the crease? Maybe. Also, why is the roof raining on us right now? Not sure.
I thought that was just us sweating bullets up here, but no, you are absolutely right.
Someone just spilled a beer or something upstairs. I don't know. Or there's a leak pipe, a pipe leak. There's a worst case scenario here. No?
Yeah. Nope.
No? Okay, good.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, and it's seemingly slowing down. So this is exciting. We've got all sorts of things planned today here at Frontwave Arena.
After review, we do not have a 2-minute penalty, but we do have enough for a top-of-the-arc foul. San Diego retains their challenge.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And we've seen that against Kansas City as well a couple of times. Challenge. And this does mean that the challenge flag goes back to Phil Salvaggio as well.
Yeah, the fountain event appears to be over. It's still dripping, but it's not pouring anymore. It's wild.
Yeah, unless there was a crazy turn of weather outside.
What's going on? What's going on? It's the top of the arc. It's 3-2 Sockers. 5:07 left in the second quarter. Charlie up top. Morales with a big left foot on the right. Pereira with a big right foot on the left. Back post, left, Leo. Ruggles lurking in the corner. Charlie just shoots into the wall, but then he gives it to Ruggles. Was that on purpose? And back comes San Diego in possession. It's two top of the arcs where San Diego took Route A, where there's three dudes. Trying for the refeed was Ruggles there to get it into Pereira. Chad Vandergrift forward to Rion Marquez, who's able to head the ball into the zone, and he's hot in pursuit. And then upset that he couldn't get there in time as Chris Toth took care of business. Ruggles and that free kick team still out on the floor. 4:35 to go in the half. Here comes Serta crashing. Cesar Serta, so much more assertive offensively since the injury to Craig Childs and putting on that yellow captain's armband. And just the necessity of the situation, honestly.
Yeah, he's been important on both sides of the ball and being able to have an incredible work rate, not just offensively, but the defensive rate, where he's not only having to play and defend, he's also maneuvering and having some of these players moving into space and directing traffic with his hands. It's incredible what he's able to do. Here's on the move.
Good wall pass setting up Serta. Blocked by Vandegrift, who reads the angles better than anyone. Ruggles, under 4 to play. Sockers with 2 goals in the quarter to take a 1-goal lead. Cesar lets it bounce to a roll. Great to see Aaron Susi here. As he mentioned, first time at the arena. Sockers got to work on that. Pacheco. Here comes Jesus Pacheco. That shot rolls off of Holloman, and then racing is Stankovic, Mr. Counterattack, but unable to get there this time. If there's one thing you can know about number 80, he's looking to break the other way. Tavoy looking to shoot. Oh, man. He's so hot right now, he firmly expected to score that goal.
Yeah, and he's finding shots where there's absolutely no space. With that turn right there, he almost takes a step, as you're going to see all over. The comments are on Tavoy, but as soon as he finds himself with a little window, he's able to step into a shot. where usually people step into another play, and that's going to be called a foul here.
Yeah, I mean, Cardenas just slid into Marquez like he was a base. Safe, but a foul on you. Here's Marquez. Rayon got the first one. Toth says, not this time, pal. I gave it to you last time. I'm not going to do it this time. Pereira heads it into the corner. Thought there was a foul. There was contact. Stankovic goes down to a knee, which I would just break my knee if I tried to do that as smoothly and athletically as he just did. Somehow that ball stayed in for Junior Kazim, and then it comes to Adrian Reyes of the Sockers. Rookie is on an 8-match goal-less streak after starting with 8 goals in his first 8 games. Mendez, you know where he's going. He gets pushed down on the way there. Reggett says, get up, and so does the official on hand. Elvis. 2:22 before halftime. Coming up on the MASL TV halftime show, my conversation with Craig Childs, plus MASL in 5 and first half highlights. We'll hear from Phil Salvaggio on the floor before we go with our Nick Ferrara, who didn't get to do his opening bit because we ran long on the Craig Childs ceremony, you got to understand. Oh boy. Toth in charge of his, master of his own domain. Gets it out, but it's over the top of Charlie. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
We've seen some really good defending by the Sockers and being very physical as well, but also being there when they need to.
And Reyes is open. Francis blocked by Mendez. Only guy there for San Diego. Pino takes it away from Pereira in offensive midfield for Kansas City. Back comes Francis. Right into the waiting mitts of Chris Toth.
There's a really good reading of the game defensively for the Sockers, and not just by the defenders, but the midfield and the attackers are dropping to clear any chance of there being any sort of space there. Now Cerda moving forward with Nilton.
De Andrade with the temporary go-ahead, no, current go-ahead goal, pardon me. We don't know if it's temporary, but we'll find out. Morales trying to add another. Cerda. Magic minute of the second quarter's live. It's Morales. He's shooting. Save Neto. Stankovic on the run. You know what he's going to do. And he shot it into the crowd. Back to San Diego with 47.5 seconds remaining.
And Ruggles just staying there and standing his ground, having Stankovic make the choice of whether to go ahead and go against the wall or try to beat him out. Usually the defender will run alongside him, but not this time.
Trying to jump in on that one was Morales, but the ball bounced to Neto in his crease. Lennis. Feathers one forward, trying to bring in Tetsane, who turns. Great attempt to keep the ball, and that allows Reggett to get his foot on the ball, and now Tetsane sends it to Souza. There's Toth with a huge save in the closing seconds. That one knocked out by Morales. One more chance for Kansas City coming up top of the arc, but first this save, Tony.
Now you can see how he's closing in off his line, making sure that his right post is secured, and there's only a few directions that shot could have gone. But Toth is there strong, not just to make sure he gets a save, but it's a clearing save. And then Morales tries to clear even further, but gives a top-of-the-arc restart.
No Marquez on this play. Reggett to Francis, blocked by the wall. Leo right there with Mendez. Nacho with 5 seconds. 4 seconds into the corner with 2 and 1, and it's not going to be enough time for Kansas City. The Sockers guard out the quarter. Reggett shoots it into the net after the horn. And at halftime, it's the San Diego Sockers 3, the Kansas City Comets 2. Tony, a really well-played game with so much on the line.
Absolutely, and we talked about it at the top that the Sockers know what they have to do. They know what the mission is in order to get the MASL Shield, and in this second quarter, they certainly demonstrated that they have that capacity. They have the capability to be excellent on both sides of the ball, and no one knows that more than Tavoy, who was also featured on defense in the last couple of seconds of this quarter.
Nilton De Andrade's goal, his 6th with the Sockers, 8th of the season, is the go-ahead goal right now. It's 3-2, San Diego with the lead. We are watching the MASL. This is our way too close. And momentarily, we will be with Phil Salvaggio after he makes his way, and he is now at his always deliberate pace. Man who's grown a mustache of his own to honor Craig Childs. He could be a barista in Napoli. Instead, he's the head coach of the Sockers, and he's with Nick Ferrari.
Coach Salvaggio, 5 of your 15 wins coming in overtime. Absolutely not a habit that you planned on, I'm sure, because the C in coach is great, but sometimes you need the C in cardiologists with those kind of results. How do you get more consistency and keep this lead that you have going into the half?
Yeah, we just got to get the next goal. I mean, it's that easy. We can't give up any, and you know, we got to keep them under 4, and we should win this game.
And the focus is on obviously winning the game. So much at stake, including the Shield, but as we put it into perspective, it is the curtain call for one of the greatest to ever do it, a Sockers legend. What has it meant to have Craig Childs as a part of this organization and the Sockers family?
Words can't describe it. It's really our relationship. He's been here since I was the coach day one in my whole career. I mean, he's brought me 6 championships, 200 and some wins. It just he's a legend. He's a legend. He's Mr. Sockers now. Sorry, Julie.
Let's get him a chance of getting one more. Go Sockers, go MASL. You heard it right here at Frontwave Arena.
Thank you so much, Nick and Phil. We're back with my interview with Craig Childs. When we come back, 3-2, the Sockers lead the Comets at the half. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on Fox Soccer Plus and MASL TV.
To the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members grow their businesses with confidence. Whether you need a vehicle to drive your business forward or gear to get the job done, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Please, 6 miles, runway 6 right, wait on.
It's halftime on MASL TV. A couple Craigs hanging out with you here. I'm joined by the one being honored today, Craig Childs. And Craig, obviously, I know you would have wanted to play in this match, but how special to be surrounded by family, friends on a day that's honoring you?
Yeah, obviously, as a competitive player, I'd love to be out there on the field in such a big game for the organization. But, you know, being injured gives me the opportunity to be with my friends, spend a little bit more time with my teammates and family that traveled in. And so, you know, it all happens for a reason.
I think a lot of the folks, especially watching nationally, might not know some of your origin story. A pure outdoor player, a striker at San Diego State. You make it to MLS. You're in Chivas USA. Tell us about what drew you indoors.
You know, I always kind of played indoor growing up. Born and raised in Poway area, and the North County Soccer Park is kind of a big staple in that community. And so I grew up playing indoor at high school level and kind of middle school and younger. And so when I had an opportunity to transition from the MLS into the Major Arena Soccer League, or PASL at the time, it was a no-brainer. It was more fun for me. I enjoyed the game more, a lot more goals and kind of offensive opportunities. So, you know, it was a seamless transition for me.
You joined a soccer's team that when it restarted was led by a couple of critical veterans, Paul Wright, Hall of Famer, Aaron Susi, the team captain, one of the best indoor players of the previous decade. How important were those two guys to your growth?
They were really important. You know, in particular, Susi was super helpful in my position. He played target. We both were San Diego State kids and local products, and so he kind of took me under his wing. And then, you know, you learn a lot from watching Paul. You learn a lot from being in that locker room with Paul. And so both of them were huge influences in me and very helpful for, you know, the trajectory of my career.
Those guys got to be the leader early in your career. Then you became the leader, the captain of the team. This team transitioned to MASL, found its way back to the championship. Just tell me about that evolution for yourself. You became a coach in real life as well. Like to go from I'm the young gun striker to now I'm an integrated part of this.
I know it's been obviously an epic evolution, and you go from being a kid out of college that's like, you know, you can't tell me anything to, you know, a father and a man who's, you know, got responsibilities and other things. And so, you know, I feel like I've grown up in the organization, and I cherish all these memories, and it's kind of, you know, molded me into the person I am today.
Your mind is so important whether you're on the field or not. How are you helping this club in that sense?
Yeah, I've started to influence some of the free kicks and power play decisions and helping to take over that element at practice. And I'm going to be on the bench from here out. You know, I'm going to be on the bench. I'm going to help influence the game during the run of play and help this coaching staff any way possible.
It's a special day for this man, Craig Childs, who I've known since he was that young snot-nosed kid that you couldn't tell anything to. Please enjoy, my friend.
Thanks, Craig. Thank you.
That's Craig Childs. I'm Craig Elston. We're going to come right back. Alex Bastiavansky, MASL in 5. First half highlights, second half kickoff, next.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Please signal, runway 6 right, cleared on.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd.
Park.
Shoot! He scores!
How goes it, folks? This is MASL in 5, back for another week. Hope everyone is doing great. Things are heating up across the league, and there are some big matchups happening this weekend. I've only got 5 minutes to fill you in, so let's get to it.
Flores and Sanchez coming forward. Flores! Oh my! What a strike! That might be your goal of the season!
That was for the Wave, the goal of the season for the Wave.
Oscar Flores gave Milwaukee the lead in the last minute against Baltimore last week, but this match is far from done. Chad Porch ties it with 9 seconds left, meaning this one needed overtime.
Led by their coach, Anua Abasi, in his 5th season. Flores! There is your hero! Oscar Flores!
Flores had 5 points in the game, including the game winner right there for the Wave as they top Baltimore 10-9 in a thriller. And Flores has been thrilling fans all campaign. He's having a rookie season for the ages. Just 24 years old, the Venezuelan has 36 points in just 22 games for Milwaukee now. This game was no less entertaining. St. Louis and San Diego, it also needed overtime.
Goals, goal! And the Sockers move into a 4-way tie for first place.
The Sockers rally from 4-1 down in the third quarter to drop St. Louis 5-4. They now have a share of first place. It wasn't all bad news for the ambush on the weekend, though. The day before, they were in Tacoma. They grabbed 3 points as they took down the Stars 7-4 behind 2 goals from Rashad Ahmadi. That Tacoma loss meant that if Empire could win in Utica, the Strikers would qualify for the postseason. That is exactly what they did as they took down UCFC 5-3 on the road on the blue turf in Utica. That same night, Kansas City hosted Baltimore. Both teams desperate for points in the chase for first place. Lesia Thetsane was a beast for the Comets, notching 4 goals as the home side held off the Blast 8-5. And on the 20th, it was a night Utica would just love to forget. In Milwaukee, they got absolutely pumped by the Wave, 17-2. Their worst loss of the season. Ian Bennett racking up 3 points in that game. Looking at the standings as we enter the final weekend of play, it's crazy. Baltimore, Milwaukee, San Diego tied for first right now, but Kansas City and St. Louis could also get the Shield. It's going to be madness this weekend. Scoring leaders, Sanchez leading the way with 47 points, followed by Rian Marquez from KC. Super Mario Alvarez with 42 points from Milwaukee. Pereira from Baltimore with 41. Sergio Pinal with 40 from Utica. And your Capelli players of the week. Chris Toth between the posts for San Diego. Oscar Flores offensively from Milwaukee. And Lesia Thetsane on the defensive end from KC. Let's start with Flores, who just had an insane couple of games. 8 points, including, of course, the OT winner against Baltimore. 6 goals, 2 assists in 2 Wave wins. Thetsane, a defender, but man, he was getting it done offensively as well. He had 4 goals in the Kansas City win over the Baltimore Blast. And in goal, Chris Toth was a monster in the win against St. Louis. 14 saves, a .778 save percentage. Okay, time now for your plays of the week.
Stars can't give up a goal here, and they do. Torrealba with nearly the dagger.
Sanchez coming forward. Flores! Oh my! What a strike!
Here's a one-on-one opportunity. Tayu lays off for Mendoza. He pockets it. There's Nani Mendoza. Timey with Frank Tayu.
As there's a shot in the top corner. Thereson Gratterall has one from distance. It's 3-1 Empire.
And the Wave's going to need a big game from Willie Vanaheny today.
Oh, what a great move there. Kavan Fader, and the Janacum native puts it home.
Back to Silla. Now across, a header. Goal! It is Mello from Silla. And the Blast.
Goals, goal!
Led by their coach, Anua Abasi, in his 5th season. Flores! There is your hero! Oscar Flores caps caps it off. Milwaukee wins it 10-9 in overtime.
And that's all the time we've got for today. But just a reminder, all throughout the season, to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the Major Arena Soccer League, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members grow their businesses with confidence. Whether you need a vehicle to drive your business forward or gear to get the job done, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stuff. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
Please signal from 6th grade. We don't.
Getting ready for the start of the third quarter here at Frontwave Arena, Oceanside, North County, San Diego, California. The San Diego Sockers looking for their third ever MASL Shield. If they can shield this lead, they will add some silverware to the cabinet and take first place in the 2025-26 MASL season. 3-2, though, the narrowest of leads over the uber competitive Kansas City Comets. Craig Elston, Tony Sanchez, Nick Ferrara, and our Amoda broadcast crew with these first half highlights for you. And I still call it the ceremony penalty. Rian Marquez shooting a wall pass that Chris Toth tries to clear, but clears it right to Marquez's foot for a 1-0 lead. Kansas City's defense was shot blocking well. Charlie Gonzalez thought he had a steal there. Tavoy Morgan just missed, but then Morgan would take matters into his own hands. The steal from Souza, a sidewall pass to himself, then a goal wall pass to himself. The ultimate indoor goal for 1-1. And then how about an outdoor style goal? Golazo. Bombosa for Tavoy, his second of the night, 17th of the year. Chris Toth and Jesus Pacheco teaming up on that save. Toth great tonight, 6 of 8. But that one on the counterattack, Stankovic recovering his own shot. For 2-2 here is the go-ahead goal. Nilton de Andrade came after Nilton had a midfield steal that was stolen back and then stolen back again by Pacheco, who fed in Nilton for the goal. 3-2, the halftime score. Shots were 14-11 in favor of San Diego. And a big third quarter ready to begin. The Comets again in white with blue shorts, white socks, running right to left. The Sockers all in blue, going left to right. A Kansas City comeback win will put them all the way up to third place and push the Sockers to fourth or fifth, depending on what happens between St. Louis and Empire. A Sockers regulation win, they get the MASL Shield, and there's nothing anyone else can do about it. So truly everything to play for here as these two teams resume hostilities in the third quarter. Neto still in net against Toth. This ball came loose. Could it be another quick one? No, Chris says, I'm going to jump up and take matters into my own hands. A strong fastball out to Luis Morales. With 3 Comets around him. Vandegrift got it away. Serta's going to get to the corner before Kansas City's Christian Andreas. Now Morales. Good high pressure shown by Kansas City. They got 4 players in the attack zone here. If the Sockers can get it out, but Vandegrift does not allow it, and then Tetsane will shoot, and it's wide. Truly an all-out effort here, Tony, by Kansas City to start the third quarter.
And what you're going to need from both sides is ultimate focus. These are the last 2 quarters of the regular season with everything that they've worked for all of these months boiling down to 2 quarters of action. Whether it's with the ball, whether it's off the ball movements, both have to have the ultimate focus and making sure that they are not the reason individually has, you know.
Sosa grabs the ball with his hand. That's just a foul. No score right now in the first quarter between St. Louis and Empire. About 4 minutes left in that one. We'll keep our eye on both because these are the 2 results that will determine 5 teams' fate. Stankovic sliding tackle by Mijatovic of that yellow miter soccer ball. Could see a retro red miter soccer ball next year. Keep hearing those rumors. Would love to see it come true. Here comes Dirtle for Kansas City. Mijatovic got a touch. Sockers now get it to a sturdy foot in Leonardo de Oliveira. Blocked back by Pino. Trying to spring Ben Raymond on a counterattack. Now here's Mendez on the right wing. Sebastian, stutter step fake, steps in, still's got the ball, and almost had it blocked by his own man, Raymond, to be honest with you. He stepped into the shooting alley.
Yeah, after his first bicycle attempt, it just extends a little bit too far, but he's still able to recover. Now Mendez once again on that fancy left foot.
As Morgan in the middle, tried to get it to him. Tavoy took a good guess there, and it just went a little bit further wide. Here come the Brujos. Hope the DJ hears. Tavoy Morgan. Battling for possession. He and the rookie Adrian Reyes, and then Reyes takes a common foul along the bench wall.
And something to note that for the first 2 quarters, you can always see that the players who are losing the ball are the first ones there to try to get it back. There, Morgan fighting once again. You saw Nilton also be able to recover some of those balls as well.
Here comes Lennis. Lennis, good move. Sending in Junior Kazim, scored his first goal of the season on Friday in Kansas City at Cable Dahmer Arena, and back out to Mikey Lennis. Lennis twists one up into the high netting.
That's where the Sockers have been very well, giving enough space for the opposition to try to go ahead and look for those windows, giving them a window but quickly shutting it down, leaving for a shot in desperation like that. But that's going to be called now a foul. Ooh, I think it's going to be a blue card situation. See if it's too many men, perhaps.
Pitch penalty, San Diego, too many men on the field.
Again.
2-minute power play, Kansas City.
Again. The Sockers caught on a bad change. And an unforced error for the first penalty of the night with 12:09 remaining in the third, Tony.
Yeah, as you see right here, I mean, we'll see it a little bit later, but
yeah,
those details, again, is the difference between a championship level team and a team that's ready to be able to go ahead and take that first seed. And against good teams such as Kansas City today, they're not going to forgive, and they're going to put their defenders in a tough situation. And this is exactly what Kansas City would love.
Kansas City, Tony, has scored on their last 4 power plays against San Diego. They're 4 for 4, and they've dissected the Sockers within a minute. Tetsane to Marquez. Rion to the back post for the goal. Yeah, that's 5 in a row. And what was the #1 power play unit against in the league has turned into a mockery of itself as Kansas City has scored for the 5th straight time against them to make it 3-3, and this was as if no one was there.
Yeah, Toth comes all the way out to add pressure, but that leaves a whole right side open. And Craig, that wasn't much of a prediction. That was more of a spoiler, which you just gave for what that power play was going to end up being.
No kidding, right? That was way too easy. Francis from Marquez. Rion getting that assist if you're thinking about pass master. I believe he just tied Scylla. We'll double check that. Check the stat pack at the quarter. Here's Souza high. Serta trying to run on the loose ball. Instead, Junior Kazim got in there, and then Ruggles sent a long ball forward. And we're back to even terms. Dominic Francis' 20th goal of the year on the power play.
It seems like the momentum has balanced out, and both teams now, as we say, 0-0 again, essentially 3-3. It's anybody's game, but we'll see who's able to take advantage of this third quarter after the halftime. Will the Sockers be able to come back up with that fire that they had to end it?
Here comes Morales. Morales on the run. Morales still going off of Neto. Loose. DeBray Holloman got there before Morales could tap in his own rebound.
Morales going all out. Was being defended as if he was going to take a step or just pull it back. But knowing Morales, he's a freight train whenever he starts to get going, and just a little too far away to get the rebound and tap it in.
Luis was smelling a goal right there, for sure. Foul on Cardenas, taking down Marquez on the boards.
See here, Cardenas just putting a little bit of that.
Yeah, that could have been.
Elbow. Yeah.
Honestly, that's pretty close.
Challenge flag is out for Kansas City.
I can't blame Stefan Stokic. I think that's pretty close. I think Shane Butler could very well turn this into a blue and ostensibly put Kansas City ahead 4-3, because as we just saw, the Sockers penalty kill is clueless to the Kansas City power play.
Yeah, exactly.
Kansas City is challenging for a blue card for the boarding.
Yeah.
And again, just self-inflicted wounds potentially here if this does end up being a boarding call.
No, I wouldn't make him out for 2 minutes.
10:20 left in the third quarter as we go to our second example of MASL video review. I think we're going to listen in on Shane Butler here. Okay, the one thing I would say is that
Can we do it again?
Maybe has time to slow himself down.
Yeah, kind of leans into it, sells it a little bit.
A little. It's a tough one, but it's one of those things where you can't blame Shane if he calls it.
He's going. I need the same angle.
It'll be interesting too, because if they do call it a blue card, then challenge goes back. However, this foul was already called. So if it stands as just a foul, I would think that the challenge flag is then taken away.
I mean, he's able to brace himself against the wall.
31, yeah.
Here's the call.
After review, we do have enough for a 2-minute penalty for boarding, number 31, San Diego.
Yeah. Like I said, you could easily...
Kansas City retains their challenge.
And Stefan Stokic might have just earned his team the lead in this game with a smart challenge, because with 10:20 left on this boarding call against Mitchell Cardenas, who's part of the penalty kill unit, the Sockers will go a man down where they have conceded 5 straight times. 5 straight times. Earlier, and coming into the final 4 games of the season, Tony, the Sockers had given up 3 power play goals the entire year.
But now you face yourself against a Kansas City who, again, knows all the wrinkles of the defense of the San Diego Sockers, especially on the power play defensive side of things.
Marquez on the pivot, and again, Dom Francis just completely unguarded on the back right wing. And here he gets the ball, and he tried for a way fancier shot than he needed to be honest. He probably could have scored with a simpler play. Now, back post again, but Toth is there. The Sockers are not accounting for the back post in this current configuration whatsoever. And it's Ben Francis who's been potting these goals. Pereira's going to get called for a common foul.
Comets trying to act fast because they know that in order to come on back and get that momentum, they have to act quickly. And once again, just all the way on the right-hand side, right corner, No Sockers in sight.
Now Sockers playing kind of a high line. Here's Marquez. Wide open is Nacho. Blocked. Pacheco was there in front of Toth. Minute 3 left on the penalty. They reviewed penalty against Cardenas for boarding. Tetsane. And the Comets. To Flores and out to the captain, Zach Reggett. Nacho. Nacho's coming on in. Marquez exchanges. 9 minutes in the quarter. 40 seconds and less now. Into the middle. Reggett scores! 6 in a row. They're unstoppable. Kansas City's got the lead.
Very well worked power play right here. You see the ball going all the way across as Reggett makes that run. Just has to slide it in and almost pass it through Toth. That's going to be a 4-3. And it's been all Comets, all Kansas City in this third quarter, on the floor and on the bench as well.
27th of the year for Reggett. And San Diego, all of a sudden, talk about live tables. It's ambush 1, Empire nothing. It's 4-3 Kansas City, and right now, in this moment in time, San Diego's in 5th place. And a chance for more for Kansas City. Mikey Lennis tipped out, still alive, Tetsane. Kazim and the Comets feeling confident, and it all started with an unforced error, a 6 men on the field penalty. One of the Sockers have been taking far too often here in the month of March. It's been almost an every game occurrence where that's simple miscommunication. That's first month stuff. It's training camp stuff.
Exactly, and against these good teams, and to be honest, because of how close this table has been this season, most of the teams are good teams, and they're going to make you pay in those situations.
Francis with that lethal left. Reggett's going to wall pass looking for himself. Charlie. Now Morgan, long pass, looking to send in Pacheco. Here comes Jesus Pacheco. He shoots, and a shoulder save by Neto. Reyes crashing in. Francis down. Elvis Osmanovic watched the whole thing and said there was no foul on the play. Stokic, of course, got his replay challenge flag back for successfully giving his team the lead. I want to give the coach the assist
100%
on that power play, because right now, I mean, it's sad to say, but right now the Sockers penalty kill cannot, they will not stop them. Marquez got another assist and now really does have a chance at that pass master title.
And for San Diego, they need to go ahead and go back and calm the waters, calm things down. But you also can't just rely on one player. That play right there was courtesy of a great pass of Tavoy Morgan in his own final third. So it has to be a team effort here for the Sockers to be able to control this matchup and get a hold of it once again.
Francis very ginger coming off, holding his left hamstring area, but let's hope he's okay. And it's more of just a contact there as opposed to a soft tissue injury. The long ball forward to Cardenas, who's back out of the box. Morales draws a common foul. Marquez says that's exactly what I intended. Get into a little bit. Sockers forced to come from behind in the second half again, as they've been asked to do game after game. They were down 2 to Kansas City in the fourth quarter. They were down 2 to St. Louis, down 3 to St. Louis in the third quarter. Their last time here, they were trailing Kansas City on the 15th in the third quarter, and they went on to lose by 2. They were trailing Kansas City in the fourth quarter of the March 14th game and came back to win in overtime. So San Diego's been playing from behind game after game after game as this one hops out of bounds and leads us to immediate timeout. It's been a great run for Kansas City to start the third quarter. A pair of power play goals and a 4-3 lead over the Sockers. Back with more action next on Fox Soccer Plus and MASL TV.
Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better Permanente.
4-3 Kansas City here in the third quarter. Congratulations go out to Soccer's W, winner of the first ever SoCal Women's Cup indoors. They beat Strikers W 4-2 today up at Toyota Arena, and took those two exhibition games 5-1 and 4-2. Open Kazim, back post was open for a second as well with Christian Andreas over there. Now Andreas in the middle, tries for a toe poke shot, and Chris Toth was right in the middle, but Kansas City came out of the timeout and immediately generated a front middle offensive chance. Morgan to Mendez. Morgan says, give it back. Mendez shot it to the far post. Andrade fouled. Came up the back of Nacho there, but the Sockers get a set piece.
Yeah, what we've been seeing from Kansas City is their movements are absolutely sharp, moving in transition from right to left, but also on the defensive end, they're able to go ahead and get their bodies in the way. But now a set piece where San Diego has an opportunity to get one back.
It's Morales. I believe Holloman got the block there. Once again, DeBray Holloman's playing a big game defensively for Kansas City tonight. Pereira has been quiet in the weekend, off the wall. He was maybe intending to do that, maybe intending to beat him on near post. Only Nick knows for sure. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Acres of time at Toyota Arena. Empire ties the match 1-1. Kazim on the counter. Morales and he meet in the corner. Foul called on Morales, tripping Kazim.
Morales trying to bump Kazim off with that muscle, but knowing that if he give any sort of extension, that was going to be a foul called. Either way, Kazim almost turns him, and now a set piece for Kansas City that they'll have to defend. San Diego.
And that was casually done. Reggett just sliding it to Toth in the crease. Literally the scenario's changing minute by minute on a live table. Here comes Serta forward. Serta over to Mendez. His shot blocked by Tetsane right into him. And then the rebound was pushed out and Stankovic can break. Stankovic with Tetsane. The two of them come down the floor and Mendez says, let me get in here and take care of this. And the foul will be called on Lucia.
It's that high work rate that you see from the midfielders and the attackers coming back. Mendez losing that ball, but then just putting his head down, making sure that he puts his body on the line in that moment. Gets the foul and the possession back for San Diego.
Morgan and Holloman. And out to Neto, who says, chill, I got this. 5 minutes left in the quarter. Those Brujos banging. Sockers in front of a crowd of 36,43 here at Frontwave Arena. On his retirement night, Craig Childs watching from the bench. So many legends in the crowd, especially from the Professional Arena Soccer League era. So, of course, Anthony Medina, Diego Rivera, Eddie Velez, all them part of our Super Soccer show as well, but they're all in the house. Nate Hetherington. Of course, you heard Aaron Susi here in the second quarter. A lot of guys. Reggett on the Soccer Script logo at midfield here at Frontwave Arena. All of a sudden, the Comets in a much more comfortable position, holding the lead, forcing San Diego into the chase position. Sockers played so firmly in the opening half. This quarter's been Kansas City's so far. 4 minutes left in it, though. Serta in a double team. The Warrior down low, battling and battling again. Eventually, I believe the foul called on the second man in, Ben Raymond, for San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego having only 1 point person there. 3 defenders around Serta. It's going to be awful difficult to get anything out of there in that corner. Ooh.
Neto almost lost it to Ben Raymond. Leo wins the ball at midfield.
Neto still wincing from that as well.
Toth. Tetsane steals at midfield, but his touch betrayed him all the way out to Cardenas. Then Pacheco thought the ball was going to come up further than it did, and he had to stop to retrieve it. Under 3.5 to play in the third. Here's Pereira in the middle, leaving it for Morales. Kick saved by Neto, dynamic. Leo now to Pacheco. Back post, just wide by Morales. Hopping. Neto helpless to the result, but physics kept it out.
You start to see the connections being made with Pereira, Morales on that front end, but the ball just isn't going in. Neto with great interventions. As you see the call for a high press now by Mendez.
Leo, pressure from Kazim right there. There's one guy you probably trust the most on the Sockers to defend against pressure. It's Leo to hold the ball. Nick tried for a header on, gets called for a foul against Reggett.
It seemed like Reggett just kind of backed into the humanity of Pereira.
Crowd let Shane know. He said, hang on, don't forget about the all-time Frontwave opener. You can never boo this man here again. You cannot do it. Ben is a hero. Marquez trying to feed Pino down the middle. Rion Marquez, again in that MVP, Golden Boot, and Passmaster chase, has a goal and 2 assists today. Now Nacho in the corner. 2:12 in the third. A perfect 2-0 quarter for Kansas City right now, including an engraved gift. Here comes action. Andreas blocked by De Andrade in front of him. Andreas spins on Mendez, brings it to the middle to Nacho. Sliding block Mijatovic. Well done by Stefan Mijatovic.
That's been the specialty of the Sockers iteration of Stefan Mijatovic, is getting those slide tackles and sliding blocks. And that big body in there.
Tetsane, one-handed save, Toth, rebound off the wall. Andreas can't get it. Mendez coming the other way. This would be against the run of play, and running back is Kazim to win it for Kansas City. Sockers really on the back foot. Slow change here as well. Ben Raymond does well to slow up Tetsane's approach up the floor. And the two of them really get into it, and De Andrade comes out with a steal. Nilton with a head of steam and a triangle around him. Just feathers a shot on to Neto under heavy, heavy pressure.
Yeah, De Andrade being pressured there, getting his arms involved and tangled with the defender. That's never going to be called. Both players are moving in the same way. No advantage for the defender, as well as De Andrade is able to toe poke that, almost getting it back.
Dirtle stays with him and does enough. Leo, here comes Neto. Neto bumps into Leo, but that was natural action. Leo's fighting for the ball back. Dirtle got through 2. Here he comes. Serta's the third. You won't get by me, buddy.
Just stands his ground there, closes his legs, and just puts and flexes those legs as hard as he can.
It was Jon Snow with the cavalry coming. He's like, nope, I got you. Final seconds of the quarter. Too casual on the pass from Charlie. Here it comes the other way. It's the speedy Stankovic. He's in! He hits the post! Big mistake by Charlie there, and it almost cost him a critical 5th goal against. Now Souza. Serta does well again.
Serta's absolutely everywhere, but in that moment, the Sockers get fortunate, and they get repaid for that post by Charlie on the first quarter.
Handball. But the quarter ends anyways. What a quarter for the Kansas City Comets. What a quarter for every team that's not the Sockers. in the MASL that's in the playoff picture, because Kansas City is putting it on its head right now. But there's 15 minutes left to play. What's coming in this fourth quarter? Only everything. You better stick around on Fox Soccer Plus and MASL TV.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Please signal runway 6 right, cleared on.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the Zoo Safari Park.
Here's what happens if the Sockers come back to win and St. Louis wins. They're tied 1-1 with Empire. San Diego first, St. Louis second, Baltimore, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Empire. If the Sockers win and Empire wins, Baltimore moves up into the bye. Milwaukee third, St. Louis fourth, Kansas City fifth, and Empire. But what if this result holds and Kansas City wins while St. Louis wins? Watch how the table changes with a Comets and ambush win. St. Louis first, Baltimore second, Milwaukee third, Kansas City on regulation win tiebreaker, even though they got 2 fewer wins than San Diego, go up to fourth, and San Diego drops all the way to fifth, where they would play, guess who? Kansas City again. That's if the road team wins for the 5th straight time. Here's what happens if Kansas City and Empire win. Baltimore, Milwaukee, Kansas City, San Diego, and St. Louis down in 5th with Empire. Empire can't move up. They're 6th every time. That would be a San Diego-St. Louis matchup, which would involve, based on what I've heard, a Saturday game here and a Sunday game there, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
for playoffs,
if you can see why San Diego wants to win, they wouldn't even be in the first round if they win this game. None of those take into account overtime scenarios. And the Sockers might be looking at yet another one. They've played the Comets 3 different overtimes. They've won all 3. If they go +1 this quarter, they'll do it a 4th time in 5 games. If they can get a +2 this quarter, they'll lift an MASL Shield free and clear, regardless of the St. Louis result. It's the final quarter. It's 4-3 Kansas City. Attacking right to left the Sockers. Mendez stepped through a tackle, drifted down to Leo, who turns and shoots, and Neto makes the save against his fellow Brazilian, and then pins it right on the edge of his crease.
And that's what San Diego's going to have to do, is come out offensively and show the fact that they were able to dominate on the offense as well. So, oof, this one slips.
And Kazim shot it. He was too close to the goal. Other way, 3v2. Boy, Mendez has run back and forth 3 wind sprints. Here's Pereira. Pacheco flying in. He hits the inside of the right post, and it comes out. Owie. And a foul on Vandegrift behind the play.
And it's those off-the-ball movements that are definitely going to be the key for the San Diego Sockers to get into those spaces. because right here, as you see, Pereira lays it off almost telepathically, knowing that Pacheco was going to be at that point, and oof, that corner of the post was not forgiving.
2 millimeters from a goal for sure. Morales out to Serta, front and center, opening minute of the 4th. Morales' shot blocked by Tetzane, just giving himself up on that ball. Morales stays with it. Serta shoots! Punch save, rebound. Mijatovic couldn't get anything on it and just skittered it into the corner, and Neto was able to grab it. 2 power play goals for Kansas City in the 3rd quarter, but also a 25-minute scoreless streak for San Diego. Can it be broken right here? Morales, save again. Neto is a brick wall. Shouldered it aside like a titan. What was that? Fly? Gnat? I don't know. It's a big fella. Nicolau Neto. Serta. Very calm keeper as well. Not maybe with his emotions, but with the way he plays.
He's a leader in the back and has poise, and he's definitely the leader and the captain of that defense.
Soccer's probing for the equalizer. Kansas City, the shot blockingest team in the league. Trying to stay between the Sockers and the goal. Mendez gets his shot away, it's wide.
A lot of individual shots off that right-hand side, not a lot of connections.
Nilton and Tavoy tried to get into one, and Vandegrift stole the ball in the middle of it. He tries to spring the counter. Soccer's gumming up in the midfield a little bit, and the Comets will possess. Those are the guys you want to get going. Tavoy was lighting the room on fire at the end of the 1st quarter and start of the 2nd, and he's been a little bit left out since. Marquez and Serta, what an all-star battle that is. Cesar draws the foul on Rion. And a delay warning, I think, against Rion, which I think was, in more reality, a lip warning. Like, hey, that was close. Toth across the yellow line. Back to Ruggles. Toth can't be used right now, but that's okay because Drew Ruggles is coming forward for San Diego. 12:07 to go in the 4th quarter. A nervous crowd. They know what's on the line. Pereira has not scored in Friday or today's match. To the middle to Ruggles. Over to Serta. Serta's had 6 assists in the last 2 games in these comeback scenarios. Trying to get one here, but well read by Stankovic, and guess where he's going? He's out on the run. Serta gets in between. Can Leo jump on this? He can. 3v3 with Ruggles. Back to Morales. Morales off the wall. Oh, again, the stoic Neto. Foul, blue card against Kazim, boarding Morales into the corner glass. For the first time, the Soccer's power play will come to the field.
Ojo por ojo, eye for an eye. That blue card, similar situation, similar results.
2 minutes, number 9 for Kansas City for boarding. San Diego power play.
As you see here, Morales trying to get on that ball and trying to move it forward. Kazim, enough of a push to call that, and now a chance for San Diego to come on up with their own power play attack and try to even things out here in the 4th quarter.
Soccer's 5th ranked power play, 9 power play goals this year. Kansas City's committed. Oh, just knocked out at the last second there. Pereira almost had a goal 5 seconds in. Kansas City's conceded 9 times on the penalty. Morgan and the Sockers moving it quickly. Morales down to the corner. Leo. Back to Morales. Kicked off the line by Vandegrift, who denies a goal. Vandegrift knew where to be. He's going to try, and he does. He'll knee it to Nicolau Neto. Minute 30 left on this power play, which began with 11:20 remaining. It'll count down to either 9:20 on the running clock or to a Soccer's power play goal, which could give them a tie. Reggett just trying to hold the ball like a fancy possession animal. It's back the other way. It's a 3v2 counter. The trailer is Pereira. Nick guides the middle. Serta says, space out, calm down. Mendez comes on. 1 minute left in the penalty. Serta to Leo. Leo to shoot, just wide. Pereira brings it down with his chest. Out to Serta front and center. Serta finds his way to Leo. Now to the corner, Mendez. Mendez rolls it out. It's Serta. Saves our Serta to Pereira. He scores! Serta, the facilitator, once again. Pereira roars as he throws the ball to the air. And Neto is down for Kansas City, and it's 4-4.
It's a rather fortunate play here because Neto does go down, clutches his knee. The play was worked out correctly, but Neto, unfortunately, getting the worst of that.
You can see it. I think he hyperextends going down to his knee, and
oh boy,
you could see the motion at the point where it happened. Philip Echemadu is coming out to warm up and likely to take over for Nicolau Neto.
Neto was having a fantastic game, and you saw some of those save movements laterally left and right. Earlier in the power play, he was able to come back and save a ball by moving to the right, but leaving his leg to the left. It's those sideways movements that are incredibly difficult to do at a high level. We'll see here, closing in and
yeah, right there. Oh, God.
Number 7, Kansas City, 5 minutes for descent, non-power play.
Wow, Dom Francis, who thought there was a penalty against him earlier that was uncalled.
And I think what Kansas City is going to try to argue here is that because there was a player who's injured, clearly you see on the replay, but in the run of play at 100%, you're not necessarily looking for those moments, but that was what led for that net to be wide open for Pereira to be able to score the tying goal. And so eventually those discussions end up in a yellow card for Kansas City.
Pereira's team leading 19th from Serta, who's got his 7th assist in 3 games. He is up to 3rd on the team.
Kansas City is challenging a foul in the build-up before the goal.
Well, this is the right of Stefan Stokic, and he will get player of the game if he can find something in here that takes away the tie for San Diego. It's certainly not a foul in the Neto situation.
Correct.
And that could just be emotion. But who knows? Maybe they spotted something else. Let's take a listen to Shane Butler.
The build-up prior to the goal. Okay. No, further back. Further back. Way further back. Way further back. Okay. From there. Yep. Back it up just a tad.
Zoom in on that.
To take a goal and a tie away?
Yeah. Replay one more time.
Zoom in on it.
Same.
Zoom in.
Zoom in if you can. Okay. Not enough change. After review, the call on the field stance, we have a good goal for San Diego.
Absolutely. Tremendous work by Shane Butler. He has to do the review. He gave it to be honest, he gave it every possible ounce of latitude that he could to go back almost a minute before to a play in the corner on the opposite side of the field. I personally believe it would be the utter judicial malpractice to change such an important game on something like that, and obviously Shane agrees.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I was looking at it, I'm like, are we going to go all the way back to Friday to call a foul from there?
Let's keep going until we find a foul. There's got to be one on here somewhere. In Ontario, St. Louis has a 2-1 lead in the final seconds of the second quarter. This game is tied 4-4 for now.
And with a fresh goalkeeper, you know, you do have Ejimata, who is an incredible shot stopper himself. We saw his pedigree here last time these two teams faced at Frontwave Arena in that Kansas City victory, but a cold goalkeeper is a different situation.
Serta. Back to Cardenas. Ejimata started on Friday, allowed 11 goals. Made 17 saves. He's very athletic.
And if you're the Sockers, what you're looking for is getting those shots off in those low spaces, because again, he is cold. As great as a goalkeeper as anybody may be, those are harder to get to and have those reactionary saves because you haven't had the body adjust to the game speed of such an important matchup.
Comets get Marquez back out on the floor and possess. Andreas comes running in. Marquez heads to the middle. Andrade very fast to get there. Andreas battles in the corner with Serta. It spins out and Marquez can control, and that big body can handle. And then Serta picks the pocket from behind. 3v2 if they hurry. Morales in the middle. Serta on the wing. Andrade to the left. Nilton back. Serta. Extra touch to the middle to Andrade. Blocked by Pino.
A couple of looks there from the Sockers. They wanted to work it around and make sure that they had the exact view that they wanted, but Ejimata does really well there. Now Serta on the fast restart.
Sockers almost guilty of another 6 men. Leo had to wait. Pino and Nick go down, play on. If you felt a small tremor in your house, that's what it was.
Just mega powers colliding there.
Foul called against San Diego. Sockers have to put defenders out now. 8:22. Oh, I can't reiterate enough that while a win of any sort gives the Sockers a bye, only a regulation win guarantees the Shield. San Diego's 5-2 in overtime this year. It's helped him and hurt him. Leo diving save at Ejimata. So a lead, it's not to say that it's regulation win or loss, that's fine, but you really, really want to push for this win in the last 7:48. I talked to a number of players who seem to think that 44 was enough, and it's not if St. Louis does what it's doing right now and wins because of regulation wins. Now, 4 would have been enough with a loss and an overtime loss and a regulation win, but 2 overtime wins won't do it. Here is the spit out by Dirtle. Pacheco bumped along the boards by Stankovic. Such an important defensive player because then he becomes a great counterattacker. Ejimata and Morgan, who got into it at Kansas City. Foul called against Morgan there, trying to pin that leg to the wall. Can't blame him, though. Philip thought it was going to be a casual play. There's not going to be any casual plays the rest of this game. Not when Tavoy's on the floor, that's for sure. Lennis interfered and intercepted for a moment, gets it back. Now it's Marquez in the corner, trying to feed it. Raymond was there. Very calm in a very difficult spot, as is Morales. A leaping double slide tackle attempt by Chad Vandegrift. Souza got the hand up on Serta. No call, no whistle, no hard, no foul, no blood, no nothing. And 6.5 minutes left to play. Ejimata out of play.
That is the tempo that we're going to see for the rest of the match, and the physicality that's going to be demanded of these players. That's going to be called for a timeout as well.
It's the media timeout. Let's take a break. Hydrate, meditate, refresh, return. 4-4, Kansas City, San Diego. The Shield and all the playoff positions on the line when we come back.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members build equity and refinance with confidence. Invest in your future with a commercial real estate loan. From residential investment properties to industrial real estate, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd!
Flex cam, the Brujos know where to flex it. 6:28 to play. Sockers hope to flex their muscles on the field. They have the first 8 shots of this quarter, according to the stats. They have the lone goal on the power play. By the way, some good news. Nicolau Neto is up and standing. He's been walking around. He's still been coaching some of the players. Still looks a little ginger, but it's not the worst. He wasn't sent to the locker room. He wasn't sent out for an MRI or something. So that's good for Nicolau, who played great today. No question, full stop. Chris Toth put into hot water here by his own team. Gets out of it.
Very well done there by Toth, being able to find the diagonal pass.
Mijatovic probing. He's only scored once, but it was a winner. Serta to Mendez, who's always going to do this. The little dance and look for that left foot, see if someone's going to give it to him. 5:55 as 77 holds it, gives to 13. Spinning kick save by Ejimadu.
That's exactly what the Sockers need to do, is just keep peppering Ejimadu and trying to get on those rebounds as well. We know he's a good shot stopper, but being able to clean those up and finish them.
Mijanovic's shot's blocked by Flores, and then Mijatovic tries to get into it. Flores shouldered it over to the other side. Serta's got it, 5.5 to play. Serta, step, back heel, Mendez, wall ball. Back post is only Andreas. Leo recovers in offensive midfield. One of the stickiest players in the league, Leonardo de Oliveira. Ruggles, Pereira. The touch eluded both of them. Ruggles was trying to feed Pereira for a 1v, kind of a 1-2 out of that corner. Now, here comes the rush by Flores. It's a steal. It's Kazim. Kazim! High! Just missed. Giving Kansas City the lead. Leo.
Kazim put everything on that shot, except for direction that it needed. As two meet.
Hugs. Let's do a drop ball. What a game. Find out more about it and find the latest on the MSL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, MASL Arena on X.
Discussion going back to see what direction this ball is going to go, but it should be a drop ball. Yeah, like you said.
10 for 10 is back with an all-star lineup of guests. Join host Eric Bergrud each week as he sits down for 10 minutes with big names across the soccer world. Find new episodes on MASL TV every Wednesday. All right, what are we going to do? Well, Drew's clapping his hands.
You're just picking a side.
4 fouls, number 11.
Oh.
Kansas City equals a 2-minute power play.
Oh! 4 personal fouls on Lucia Tetsane.
Wow, that's huge.
You almost never see it, but it's here. Oh, yeah, for that.
Pulling on the dreads
in
the
for
back.
That.
Yep.
Second power play of the quarter for San Diego. A chance to take a Shield lead. 4:37 left on the clock. Back when Aaron Susi used to play, the foul to penalty situation was 6 team fouls equal to blue card. In the MASL, it's 4 personal fouls on any player in a half equals a blue card. And as such, almost every time a player gets a 3rd foul, they're just taken out of the game.
Yeah.
And so it never happens. But now, until 2:37 on the running clock, the Sockers have a man advantage, trying to break a 4-4 tie. Pereira had the last power play goal from Serta, who's the maestro in the middle. And he's got the ball to Nick across, forcing Leo out of his pattern. And the Sockers have to recover. Minute 38. Now that cross pass finds Leo. Leo trying to feed the corner, well defended by Mikey Lennis. Serta has to retreat. Minute 30 on the man advantage, 4:06 on the game clock, 4-4 on the scoreboard. Serta. Here's Leo in the corner, working off the right mid-wall. Bad pass by Serta, he holds up his hand. Pereira finds the corner and Morgan. Good to get the ball onto Voicefoot some way or how. Serta cuts it to Leo. There's a minute 6 in the power play. Another cut pass is over to Morales. Back out to Serta, front and center. Morgan's in the middle. Pereira drifting to the left point. Back out to Serta. Sockers passing well, no shots. 54 seconds. Morales dances. Leo thinking about a shot. He's going to crank one. It's blocked. Lennis with a staggering block, and the ball backspins. And then Vandegrift gets it to Lennis, who holds off Morgan, falls, certainly should not be a foul. Sockers get it back, 35 seconds on the man advantage. It's Serta. Cesar Serta gives off Morales. Morales past the slide tackle attempt, off the wall. Back post is Leo. Leo settles it, trying to find Morgan in the middle, and Vandegrift stepped up and took the ball away. And then Vandegrift battling Serta, these two defensive stalwarts, back and forth. What effort, what execution by Chad Vandegrift, doing the little things to kill this penalty. 12 seconds left. Mendez off the bench. Back for Leo. Back for Mendez. He shoots just wide. Pereira. Penalty is over. Out of the box will come Tatsane now. Back to even strength. But first this shot. Just wide. Ejimadu did not get it, but the wall did. Just wide.
And what a play by Chad Vandegrift, and what knowledge of the game to be able to put the body and just crawl to defend and get those extra seconds down.
Kino collects it in front of Ejimadu. There's 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. If this game goes to overtime, control of the MASL Shield is turned over to St. Louis. A regulation win in Empire would give them the tiebreaker and 44 points in the Shield. San Diego and Kansas City, that's just a mistake by Morales right there, giving up possession. A Kansas City regulation win can move them all the way up to 3rd place. Toth will get this one. So right now, 3 points on the line for both teams, up for grabs. The final 95 seconds, this tense classic. Poke steal, Pino sending in Stankovic. Stankovic, the counterattack specialist, racing back was Nilton. What an all-out effort by Nilton de Andrade defensively to deny a sure goal right there. Battle along the wall, still alive. It spits out, and Toth slides to collect. Deflected into the San Diego bench. There's a minute 10 left to play.
Everything to play for. The most important minute and 10 seconds left of the season for this league. And San Diego is on the ball, and they have a chance now to construct something, to utilize all their know-how, and they're going to think about it. Timeout, tiempo fuera. See what the bench can draw up. We have Craig Childs in that bench as well. Not just a physical presence, not just an experienced player, but with the know-how to be able to be in these situations.
It's halftime, by the way, at Toyota Arena. So keep it right here in case you wanted to channel surf. It's 2-1 St. Louis, but they've got a half hour left to play in that one. Earlier today, Milwaukee got a little more than they probably expected from Utica City FC. But the Wave prevailed 11-7. You could say something very similar about Baltimore, as Tacoma basically sat their top 15 and top 10 players, and went to Baltimore, and Baltimore won 14-9, but the game was a lot closer than you might have thought. St. Louis earlier in the week on Friday beat Utica 7-4, and that's what set up everything that we have here. You currently have Baltimore in first place on 43 points. Milwaukee tied with them and in second. The Sockers lose tiebreaks to both of those teams on regulation wins. So if the Sockers were to progress to overtime and pick up their 43rd point, that's only good for third place. And a date with an Empire team that would love to play them. If they win in overtime, 44 points, at that point, St. Louis would have to win in regulation to win the Shield. If they went to overtime, San Diego would be the Shield champion. If Empire won, they would be the Shield champion. And again, if Kansas City gets a goal in the next 70 seconds, they move to third place and push San Diego all the way down to fifth. Presuming St. Louis gets a result of some sort, fourth or fifth.
Everything to play for here.
This is the magic minute, 60th minute, fourth quarter, 4-4, Frontwave Arena. One of the most tense minutes I remember in a soccer season in a long, long time. Never have we seen a league table this tight. So much and a great pressure there, but then Morales gets loose. 42 seconds, Morales double teamed in the corner. Kansas City fighting furiously. Morales keeps going. Morales down. No penalty, remember. Oh, wait, Phil does have his challenge. Phil does have his challenge.
Yes, he does.
He can throw it. Now, I mean, the Sockers are playing with raised emotion. Not sure we saw a foul, but we'll find out, because any foul matters. Any foul at this point would get you a free kick that you might score on.
Absolutely, and I think it was going to be on an Ejimado swipe of Morales.
San Diego's challenging for a potential blue card.
And you have to challenge for potential blue card, but you do so understanding that a common foul still works. Here we go. Let's listen in with Shane.
Rolled all in front of the penalty area, the whole.
Was Morales dropped?
Any sort of contact
Roll
in
it.
there.
Start. I would start a little further back, right in here. Okay. Yep.
I mean, nothing happens here. With the steal. And then Luis gets it back. And then he's coming in. Right there. Hand to the foot. Hand to the foot. That could be.
From here, from right here, yeah.
Now that's a penalty in the crease.
Yeah, it should be.
If it's a penalty.
Swipe.
What's the fault?
It's very outdoor.
What's the fault?
He has a. There was a shirt grab.
I don't see it.
Well,
Elvis says he doesn't see it.
You can see it.
run it from here.
They should be
I don't know
looking
how
for the
low you
hand,
can get.
not the shirt. They should be looking for the hand. Sure, there's a shirt grab, but it's the hand there.
You want? Okay.
I mean, I don't see a foul.
Okay.
Do you see a foul?
No, not enough to change it. No. No. Okay. So we got.
After review, there is no foul committed.
Where's the restart at?
You stopped the game here. It was a San Diego ball.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
You heard it, Craig. Not enough to change it.
After review, we have no foul on the play. Call stands. San Diego ball.
Crowd jeering because I think they see the Tetsani hand to the foot of Morales as a penalty, which would have been a penalty kick.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a really high standard for Shane Butler to make a call like that. I think in the end, that's probably the right decision to be made.
Yeah, looking at 4-4, 32 seconds to go in this moment. What this means, not just for this game, but for the league itself, have to be absolutely sure that that's the case. 32 seconds for San Diego.
Looking for Tavoy. Tavoy, very quiet since that amazing rush. Serta's going to run in. Cardenas trying to get it to him. Pino jumps in front with 20 seconds. Holloman sends it up the floor. Just kind of punting into the corner. Kansas City happy to play spoiler to San Diego as well. Look out on this pass. Oh, Serta. Oh, yeah, and Mitchell gives it away. Really careless pass with 10 seconds left in the game, conceding possession, but deep down the floor to Kansas City. Ejimadu to send it forward. He'll call timeout. They can go 6 attackers here. Why not? Why not?
Just one last play there, and again, just a millimetric mistake where Cardenas is able to get to that pass, but instead of delivering an accurate pass to the wall and potentially something creative from there, now you give Kansas City an opportunity to throw everything and the kitchen sink for one last play.
Amazingly, according to the stats downstairs, its fourth quarter shots are 11-0 San Diego. But with 9.9 seconds left, literally one shot is all it takes, if it's the right one. And that would just be, that would be the ultimate shiv to the side, and it might earn Kansas City something I don't know if they want or do want, which would be a return series against this team in the first round of the playoffs. Either way, those playoffs would be starting right away. Be starting next weekend. Again, it's 2-1 St. Louis right now to start the third quarter. They're about to begin the third quarter in St. Louis, or pardon me, in Ontario. But right now, 9.9 seconds. They will go 6 attackers. No, they won't. Never mind. Pardon me. Ejimadu was over there. I was looking down floor thinking I saw another pink jersey. No, that is Ejimadu. So 9.5. Raymond did well to block that. They just can't let the ball into a dangerous area. 5 seconds. Reggett, 4 seconds. Toth punching. Look out. Crashing Marquez. Horn sounds. Reggett will be attended to, but we will go for the 8th time this season, 1/3 of the season schedule for the Sockers. 60 minutes, not enough. A regulation win, not up for grabs. Kansas City earns their 40th point of the season. San Diego earns their 43rd. And St. Louis earns a clear and righteous path to their first ever MASL Shield if they can hold on to their lead against an Empire Strikers team that is locked into 6th place. But the Sockers can still earn a bye or potentially the Shield itself with a win in overtime. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, Golden Goal, sudden death, OT. Sockers 4, Comets 4. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on Fox Soccer Plus and MASL TV.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd. safari park.
Wind 6 knots, runway 6 right, cleared on.
Consequence of that.
We're back. 60 minutes, not enough. 10 more on the board. This is golden goal overtime. 5v5 it remains. 5-4 will be the final score of this match. Each team has earned a standing point, and one more standing point is up for grabs. And for San Diego, it is everything this point. Oh my God, that was almost a wacko to start the game, to start overtime. A high bounce over Chris's head. He was helpless to it, but it fell high. Morgan battling. Morgan fouled by Pino. Those guys have been going at it all night. Morgan had the better of it early. Pino's had the better of it late.
Both teams know exactly what it means to be in this situation. Yeah,
just why you gotta treat me that way. Back out to Milton.
The team with less mistakes will win this game.
Empire has tied St. Louis 2-2. 12 minutes left in the third quarter. Morgan flicks, cleared by Kazim. Out to Serta. Opening minute of the fourth. Mendez. Cardenas. Change behind. Well done by Tetsane to hold off Nilton. Now Ajamadu sends it forward. 3-line pass. Thank you. Waiting for the call. This is a middle of the yellow line restart for San Diego. A very nice scoring opportunity. You could make a false but somewhat reasonable argument that because the defense has more space to defend, that this could even be more dangerous if well executed.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the Sockers and how they love to pass the ball around and find those spaces and be methodical with it. We'll see how Serta initiates this.
He'll call timeout. He'll initiate it by not initiating it at all, and instead calling timeout to discuss and to head over so that the man who would be on the ball for the set piece, Craig Childs, can help design this set piece to find joy, find a 15th, makes it 16th win, a 6th overtime win, and get to 44 points, which guarantees a bye. And that, for this team, is a lot.
Massive.
I think it's as important as the Shield. Honestly, the Shield is just decoration at that point. It's not. It's really important. It should be really important to any organization to win your regular season and to celebrate that with your supporters and your fans. But the reality of winning the title, which is what this club strives to do every year, they could use a bye as much as anybody. Leo and Charlie just coming back on weak legs. Charlie's been a reduced factor in this game, as we've seen. Leo seems to be the much sturdier presence. But Cesar Cerda has taken over this ball club, Tony.
100%, and he's been incredibly important on the defending offensive side on every single facet of the game. A leader and really taking that captain's armband and ran with it. Now, this play, again, you get more space, but with that, more space to pounce on a ball, intercept the ball, and counterattack, which is something Kansas City is very, very dangerous at.
The Twin Towers, Regan and Marquez, are up top for just that, hoping for something to kick out. Serta waits. He's got Morales. Morales shoots high, missing. Serta. Leo. To Serta. He scores! He scores! The captain, the hero, the best defender in the league. Give it all to him and give the Sockers the win. 5-4, San Diego!
Cesar Cerda lo hace todo. He does it all. He starts The restart off the yellow line, moves into position, has the space, has the know-how, has the experience. Lo tiene todo, Cesar Cerda.
The goal at 109 of overtime. The golden goal to the golden god. Cesar Cerda, show it again. From Leo. Oh, that's so sweet. With nectar, sweet ambrosia.
¡Qué delicia! Cesar Cerda, con la derecha, con la izquierda, con lo que sea. Anything you want it, as long as it's in front of goal, he's going to have a chance to take this club forward. Cesar Cerda, take a bow.
The last 3 games, MASL voters, please hear me clearly. This man is the do-it-all defender in this league. This is the man who comes up. He has powered this team. They would have lost the last 3 games. They would not have won one of them without the amazing performance. Cesar Cerda, assist on the equalizer, scores the golden goal. His 10th points in the last 3 games. 1 goal, 9 assists. Booty shake for Pereira. Okay, let's talk to a guy who had a good seat for all of it, Craig Childs. You can start over there too. Go ahead.
What are you guys doing? On this epic curtain call here at Frontwave Arena, Craig Childs, as you look around and you see every member in this arena wearing your jersey. But earlier tonight, it was just you and a glance at the blue turf. You were behind the goal. You were sitting there watching some young kids play, having fun hours before this match right here. What was going through your mind as you put it into perspective and how special and unique this day was?
You know, it's an unbelievable opportunity when you've got a 1-game situation to potentially, you know, push yourself in a good playoff position. I think, unfortunately, we may not have won the Shield, but we got ourselves a bye in the playoffs, and it gave us a little bit of time to kind of recoup and recover and get into the first and the second round of playoffs.
And in your 17 seasons here as a San Diego Soccer, a full circle moment as a true San Diegan to bring it back right here with these boys behind you, making sure that in the final regular season home game of the season, you were not going to put an L in that comment on your night. How special was that moment with these guys behind you tonight?
Listen, you know, it's an unbelievable group of guys, and you know, we just got to stick together, keep our head in each game, and we know we've got the talent to push us through. And so, great goal, Cerda. Captain came through.
And in that magical moment, as we think about this, picking this momentum into the playoffs, and that continued trend of overtime thrilling victories, while they're great for the viewers and our fans, they can be quite difficult on the coaching staff, and I'm sure you tonight. Maybe we get one in regulation, huh?
Listen, you know, whatever it takes to hoist the championship, you know, we'll take them in regulation, we'll take them in OT, as long as we get the wins and keep pushing on.
And most importantly, they'll take them. San Diego Soccer's victorious tonight. One more time for Craig Childs. 17 years of service. Wrapping it up right here, Frontwave Arena, your Soccer's epic in victorious fashion here in this MASL Action Live from Oceanside.
Those two have been twin captains of this team for years, Cesar Cerda and Craig Childs. Look at this. Oh my God, he's like holding his knees saying, please guys, don't wreck me. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll wrap this crazy match up right after this. 5-4 scenes. Pure cinema, as the Gen Zs would say. 5-4 Soccer's in overtime. And the Shield battle continues. We'll update it when we come back.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
This Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables.
Doctor, I said stop. I can't pay for a nutritionist.
Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
Wait, 6 wrong with 6th grade. We don't know.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd!
Safari Park.
Kevin with the walk-off overtime goal here today to get this special night in the books with the Craig Childs victory, and most importantly, the San Diego Sockers victory, garnering a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Talk about that moment when you saw that opening and put that laser, especially after we witnessed several just off the crossbar.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a team effort. I mean, I was the one who was close to the goal and took the shot, but at the end of the day, it's like the effort of the whole team, and I think we're happy with the win today.
Caesar, you have an amazingly beautiful family, both your San Diego Sockers family and your family. And guess what? To the Sockers Nation, I'm sure they want to thank you because you sent them not only to that first round bye, but also to Legoland. What does it feel and how important are these fans here at Frontwave Arena for the San Diego Sockers?
It is amazing. I know we have probably the best fan. I mean, I'm sure we have the best fan in the league, in the country. And this is for all you guys. And we appreciate the effort. We appreciate the support. And we're trying to, we're working to get the title.
Give it up for Cesar Cerda and your San Diego Sockers.
Let's watch the highlights of this incredible match, just showing you what indoor soccer can be at its absolute height. Pure scenes. Let's roll the highlights. And get things started with the first goal of the night, really kind of an accidental goal, as Toth was just trying to clear the ball, but then Tavoy Morgan with a quick takeover. One of the prettiest indoor double walla scorers that you'll ever see. Double self autopasse walla scorers. Just a unique variant. Then how about this? Pow. Wow. His 18th of the season. It looked for a minute like he might become the team goal leader. Nick would get one later. Here's David Stankovic on the back end of a 2v1 down the floor. Got the feed from Francis. Toth made the first save. Back came Milton de Andrade with Jesus Pacheco. Great team defense to steal at midfield to set up that goal. Then you get just an easy couple of power play conversions to start the third quarter for Kansas City that changed the whole game. Each time just crossing back and forth, back post never open. That made it 4-3. Here's 4-4. And unfortunately for Kansas City, Nicola Nato hurt on that play. Here's the match winner. No one's going to stop that. Plastic Man, maybe. That's about it. As Cerda delivers in the clutch, as he has truly throughout his career. And even the folks, when they lost in Chihuahua last year on Easter Sunday, that day Cesar Cerda played a game with the heart of 5 lions. Blocked everything, moved everywhere. We've seen him go into this Superman mode when the Sockers have needed it, and look at what they've done as a result. They've pulled out 3 straight, trailing in the fourth quarter, overtime victories to end the season.
And we've talked about the season as a whole and the Sockers and their struggles with fitness and everything, but one player that has not taken that excuse or anything is Cesar Cerda, and this team feeds off of the performances of each other and feeds off of the resilience of the players. And I mean, Craig, how could you not be romantic about this sport? Not just soccer, but indoor soccer. This is the epitome of what this gives you. Even if you're on the Comets side, what an incredible regular season that they've had and how they fought and taken the Sockers to the limit so many times. But for the Sockers, this can be that year where they move forward with that momentum.
Team pick being taken. We're going to take our bow and see you later, and remind you that right now St. Louis and Empire are playing with the shield on the line in the third quarter, tied 2-2. St. Louis must win in regulation. Otherwise, San Diego is the shield winner for 2025-2026. Thanks to our entire Motor Broadcast crew. For Nick Ferrara and Tony Sanchez, I'm Craig Elston, reminding you of our Golden Goal final score, 5-4 Sockers. Until the playoffs in a couple of weeks, so long from San Diego.